so at Candlelight, I ended up like going to them in a group. I was like, hey, thank y'all. I've been wanting to be a CIT for a while. I was just kind of thanking them. And I straight up, I just like started to cry like right in front of them.
Why?
Just because like it had been a long week, and I had been wanting to do CIT for a while, and it's just like the sadness of Candlelight. Because there's been one Candlelight I've cried at before, but like the sadness.
That's when it's time to like wrap everything up.
Yeah, that's
was that last night?
Thursday night. But like
that was last night.
Yeah, but it's not like really wrap everything up, but kind of like the sadness of the week ending. They set that up to be all the sadness. Like you just get it all out right there. They have this whole.
So you had so much fun that you cried because you were sad to.
So that was like all of it, like all the years. I like started just like having memories of all the years. It was kind of sad.
Yeah. Well, that's good that it makes you... That's how it was when I went to Colorado camp, and I remember when my mom picked me up from that, and I actually started to cry, and I told her I had had so much fun, and I wanted to go back. But what they did is that they said, oh, well, he loved sleepaway camp, so let's send him to North Carolina next year instead of the same one. And I didn't have as much fun. It was kind of like when we sent you to Ernst, and it was like a completely different, you know what I mean? That's another reason why you would have been year 6 or 7 had you not gone to Ernst, probably. Because you went to Ernst for one of those. That was in Ohio, I think. But I'm glad see, when you tell me that you have like you're overcome by emotion like that it makes you come to tears because you love it so much. That's why I want to make sure that you get sent over there, Larry. That's why we make a lot of effort to make sure that we can get it done. So I'm glad to hear that. Did any of the other campers, were they all sad too, some of them?
Yeah. It was actually kind of another thing that like really also made me feel popular. There were a lot of things like that just kind of made me feel.
Tell me the story again with the.
Oh, I can tell. There's a couple other ones that have happened. Like I was on like the second time I hurt my ankle was like this week, and so they were taking me in a golf cart taking me in a golf cart to go somewhere or go back to somewhere or whatever, and we passed like 4 groups or whatever, and each one was like, Larry, hi. And then like there was one guy, I only met him on the Widgie trips this year. And I reminded him
a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, his name was Falkenberg. And I ended up like I talked to him the week 1. I was kind of messing with him. And I said, "What's my name?" And he's like, "I don't remember, but I think it started with an L." And I said, like, "Yeah, there's Larry." And then, like, this was, like, that was last week, probably, like, Tuesday or something. And then this week, we were driving by on the golf cart, and we happened to go slow because he was, like, in the middle of the street or whatever. I said, "Hey, Falkenberg, what's my name?" And he turned around, like, half a second. He's like, "Larry." And that was kind of cool because, like, even the nurses that were driving me around were like, "You were testing him."
Yeah.
But, yeah, and then, since I got moved cabins, like in the middle of the week, in most of the cheers, like we have to do cheers every morning, and it's pretty cool if you like with some of them. But for like there's kind of like a roll call where the cabins have to scream, and like most of them had Larry involved in them.
Really?
Like, for the past 2 days, yeah.
Like what?
Well, so cabin 9 was like, we miss Larry.
That's awesome.
And then the next day was, we want Larry back. And then my cabin was like, cabin 10 was like, we're keeping Larry. And then just a completely random cabin's like, we actually also want Larry. Like, I didn't even know anybody in there. I knew them indirectly. I talked with like some of the kids in there. But it was funny because like half the groups were like, we want him, and it was cool.
So you like that better than trips? Widgie trips?
Yeah. Oh, and I also got to...
being away from me for 2 weeks?
Mm-hmm.
I can't believe that. I'm just kidding. Of course I can believe it, Larry. You're getting to be more and more independent as a young man. And I'm delighted. I'm very proud of you. I love you. You did good. You did real well. So tell me the story again about how they were calling roll or whatever.
Yeah, so they called all the counselors. So this was like a staff meeting, kind of like preparing everybody for the week and whatnot.
This was in the, like, when you first went there?
No, this was week 2.
Oh,
like,
okay.
start of week 2, right before we go to our cabins to, like, kind of start meeting the kids that show up or whatever. And they're like, all right, such and such, are you here? Yes. Such and such. And they went through all the counselors. And, like, that's probably 3 times 15. So, like, 90 counselors or something. Not all of them were there. Mm-hmm. I'd say, like, 45 or something were there. Mm-hmm. So, it like, took a minute for them to go through everybody. But they were going pretty fast. And then it was, like, girls CITs. And then, like, they went down the list.
They have it for girls, too?
Yeah. And they were, like, going through the list. And they were,
Are there more boys CITs? Or
it was equal this time.
About equal?
It was completely equal. 5 and 5.
There were only 5 of you? You were one of 5?
Boys. There
That's
were 10.
it?
10 total, yeah.
Wow. I would have expected more. Okay.
But, yeah, and then, so I think I was 4th boy, and it was Daniel. He's been there 2 years. Avery, 4 years. Gregory, 10 years. Larry, woo! Yeah!
They all started cheering.
Yes. And then Sam, and it was like, woo! And then, but yeah, even like Susie, like the main, like the head of everything, even kind of like cheered a little bit. It was pretty cool.
That's awesome. Well, I didn't get any calls this time asking, hey, can you sign such and such? I was so glad to not get a call like that. And actually, as I was leaving, they were like, well, he's been here. He was here. In fact, it was that guy that was there at first. He was like, well, he was here a couple of weeks ago, and he's been here for the last several years. I don't think you'd have any problems with the forms. And that's what I told him when they called. I was like, he's done Widgie trips for like the last 3 years in a row. I don't understand. Like, what's the holdup, you know? So
I thought it was funny too, because they were debating whether to make the CITs do like swim checks, and I'm like, well, I already did mine this year. And one of the CITs, he was like 2 feet taller, or like a foot taller than me.
really,
Like he looked like he could probably he looked about 20. Like he was like he played lacrosse, or he plays lacrosse. And he was like muscular and like a titan. And it was like cool. But they were like, the CITs don't even need to do a swim check. They can stand up everywhere in the pool. And so what I ended up bragging to the kids about was like they had to do their swim checks. And like I was bragging with the older group because most of those kids passed. They were kind of talking about it, and they're like, yeah, that was so easy. And I'm like, mine was so easy, I just walked around the pool. And they said, yeah, you passed. That was kind of funny to say to them, because they looked at me like, really?
So, like, as CIT, like, what did they do, like, specific training, like leadership training?
They gave us like
week?
suggestions. Like they kind of did team building stuff, which I want to say is kind of funny. We did it all in a big group. And we couldn't finish. We could never finish perfectly. Then the girls ended up having to go to the bathroom for one time. So I was like, hey guys, let's try doing it without them just to see how difficult it is. And we did it perfectly. And then we did it like, there was one where you have to hold your finger like this and drop a hula hoop slowly. We got it in like 30 seconds or whatever. And then we got the girls over, and they're like, hey, since the boys did this while y'all were using the restroom, y'all now have to try it. It took them like 45 seconds. And then there was another thing where you had to like you tangled your arms up like this, and you had to form a circle. Like you were in a circle, and you grabbed like two random people's hands that couldn't be beside you, and you had to unravel yourselves. So it was 5 boys, 5 girls, completely even. We were able to do, the boys did a group of 5 twice, and then we also got 2 counselors in there, and we also did that before they could even undo all 5 girls. So we were just like it was kind of funny, because it was like team building, and they were all like yelling at each other, and the guy's like, okay, you like, all right, we got to do this, and then this, and then this, and then dang, we're done. Why did I say that? What words were I trying to say? Because I wasn't trying to say that word.
Anyway. Yeah.
Bang, we're done?
Yeah.
Why did I say that? Anyways. Sorry, I did not need to say that. Yeah, but we just like flew through it, and it's like, bang, we're done. And then we finished, and like we look over, and the girls were just finishing, and it's like, we all were laughing, and they're like, see, we finished at the same time. And it's like, no, we did 2 groups of 5, and then a group of 7 before y'all did 1 group of 5. It was kind of funny.
Yeah.
There were a lot of things like that, where it was like we were just kind of crushing it, like all the boys were crushing it. The girls would take a lot longer. It was funny.
So tell me about it when you became official CIT. Like, were you responsible for like getting the kids up and stuff?
No.
Or like getting them to breakfast?
And actually, in my first cabin, I almost got left in the cabin twice.
Why?
Because I was sleeping. Like, I'd sleep, and I never, like, when they said, like, they never checked. They didn't, I don't know if they didn't mean to, like, not check, but, like, they weren't waking me up, like, because no one, like, the people that were near me were both counselors, and they both had, like, a phone or whatever, so I guess they both set alarms or whatever.
So how many counselors were in the cabin?
3.
And how many CITs were in the cabin?
1 to 2.
How many CITs were in your cabin?
1.
Just you?
1 for, like, 3 days, and then just me for the last 2 days. But, like, in the first one, with, the more people, it was, like, empty. And then, or, like, they were, like, leaving, and then they're like, wait, we're missing somebody. And they ran in, and they're like, hey, is anybody in here? And I, like, woke up, like, what? It was funny. And then another time during rest hour, I, like, took a nap, because I was exhausted. Most of the days, I was just, like, because I was trying to interact with the kids, and, like, and they had, like, endless energy, and I was trying, and I was like, hey, guys, and whatever, and I was just exhausted during rest hour, and it was, like, 100 degrees every day or whatever.
It rained a lot, too. You know, when I drove back, it was, like, storming, like, pouring rain, and I was like, man, this is just...
Yeah, but the heat was way worse than any rain. And then one time, this was the second time I ended up hurting my ankle, I had to walk outside. Mm-hmm. And, like, I didn't even have one shoe on. Like, I took the shoe off because we were trying to put ice on it. Mm-hmm. Which, I have a funny, kind of sad story about that, I can tell. But, like, I was walking outside. It was, like, raining, but the sun, like, there was no cloud overhead, but it was raining, which is, like, kind of weird as is. But I had just a sock on this foot. It was, like, burning on the ground, and it felt like it was boiling. Because, like, the ground was hot, the sun was beating down, and it was raining. All 3. And I was like, ah!
Made it seem like this water was boiling, kind of.
Mm-hmm. And then, what was I going to say?
This dude. Remember Atlanta? When they would come right up to you?
Mm-hmm. Start knocking on the door.
Didn't they knock on our window in Atlanta?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't want to go back to Atlanta. I don't want to go back to Atlanta.
Remember that lady at the Panera, though?
Which one?
God sent me here and said that if I came to you specifically, that you would give me a little bit of money so that I can eat today.
She said that to me?
Yeah.
At Panera?
Or something like that. Or Piggly Wiggly or somewhere. It might not have been that. Oh my gosh, there's another one.
Yeah, Nashville's.
But it wasn't like that exact sentence, but it was something similar.
So what's the thing for next year called?
I think it's called JC.
And it's 4 weeks, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy, here we go.
Why did they do that?
I don't know.
But that was funny because I was talking with one of the counselor that you met, the guy that was walking with me.
The one that offered me $100 to
Leave, yeah. Oh, he flexes money so much. Like he's like, I don't know what he does outside of this, but like he'll just drop 100. Like he said, if you find this pair of sunglasses, I'll give you $50.
and did people.
Yeah, but like it wasn't even like a question to him. He's like he announced it to the whole every cabin. We were all eating in
Don't
TDM.
be like that.
Well, no, but he was like, because it was one of his friends. So he went up, and it was during a meal that they realized they lost him.
Yeah.
I saw it, yeah.
Go in there for a minute.
Yeah, but they realized it was one of his friends or buddies or whatever. And so he went up and he said, hey, if you find this gold-plated pair of Ray-Bans,